Today we're working on my Scag Turf Tiger. Want to sharpen up the blades, give her some grease, and maybe do a test mow. This here is one of the first model year Turf Tigers. I'd say made, I don't know exactly, but probably around 2000, 2001. I bought this thing for mowing my acreage, and I picked it up for I think $1,300, which is real cheap for a Turf Tiger. It did need a few parts. I put a new spindle on it, new drive shaft, deck drive. The deck is driven by a drive shaft off the motor. What else? Put a new muffler on it and new clutch. PTO clutch in the back. She runs pretty good, especially for the price. Still cuts fine. This is a pre-velocity deck. If you know anything about Scag's, velocity deck is their flagship deck, and those are nice decks. But this still cuts fine for what I need. Problem that I see coming up is those pumps are starting to go. You can feel kind of a notchiness in the sticks, a little jerky when you're turning sometimes. So those things are expensive. New, I think they're about $800 a piece. Haven't researched if I could find a rebuild kit, but if I can, that'll be a project for another day. So today let's jack it up, pull the blades off, sharpen those, put them back on, and then we'll hit up all the grease zerks and give her a test mow. I'm going to leave the jack under the deck because it helps raise it up a little more, get those spindle bolts out. There's 3 blades on this mower, 15/16 nut, just hit it with the impact. Go the right way helps. For the ball. Okay, let's sharpen up these blades. I'm using a Gator mulching blade. They seem to work pretty well. And these blades don't really look too terrible, but I did kind of run over a dirt mound. So I want to sharpen them up a little bit. So let's do that. Usually I just clamp them up. If they're real bad, I'll kind of grind out the big chunks, then hit them with the file. This one, it's got a little bit of a chunk, but just, just put an edge back on there with your file. That's all you need to do. I'm trying to get these knife sharp. It won't hold that edge on a mower blade, so just put a little bit of an edge on there. Here's what it looks like. We got a little bit of a chip there. Not too worried about that right now. I'm just trying to put a little bit more edge on there. Like I said, not knife sharp, but that'll work. So let's get these back on the mower. Here's our newly sharpened blade. When you put these back on, you want the wings up. You want these wings up towards the top of the deck. And you want to put your bolt in from the bottom. Bolt should have one washer on it. That goes in. Then you put a spacer there. Then you put it back up through the deck. Put your nut back on. And tighten it up. And there we go. So let's get it off the jack stands and give her some grease. Okay, for grease, it's pretty straightforward. There's quite a few on this machine. I'm not going to show you me greasing everything. I'm just going to point them out. I just use a straight molly grease on every single fitting. It's not going to hurt anything. I like to start in the front of the mower and work my way back. So starting out front end here, let's see, we got one here. Now you don't want to over grease this or it will pop that cap off of there. So just a few shots, and you don't have to do it every single time. The front casters also have a grease fitting. You can see it there. The other side is the same. One on that swivel bearing, one on the front caster. Moving back, each spindle has its own grease fitting. And these, I think these are probably one of the more critical areas to be greasing. Keep those well greased. Spindles are, you know, they're constantly spinning and they are fairly expensive to replace. So to grease those, lift up your foot pad there, and they all have kind of a cutout in the deck to get a grease gun. I don't know if you can see it back in there. It's hard to see. Same on the other side. You can see this kind of notch here. And there's the grease fitting right at the end of my finger. Middle spindle, same way. There you can see that notch. Put your grease gun in there, give her a few pumps. Then all of the linkages have grease fittings. So you can see up front you got one. You move to the back, there's one. Other side, same way, got one there. You got one in the back. Parking brake lever has one there. I know there's some underneath. So if you go underneath from the back and see the drive shaft there, that's what drives the deck. It's going to have one here on the slip yoke, and it's going to have one in each U-joint. So this is the rear U-joint. Up there is the front U-joint. So with it all greased up, let's fire it up and mow a little bit, see how she does. Thanks for watching.